the last meeting of the year. And so that bell, I'm gonna hit this bell and ring in our last meeting, Rotary weekly meeting, Rotary Club of El Paso, and welcome everyone. And before we get started, I put the quick video together just to get everybody in the mood of what a great year it's been. So let me share with this. And if you don't get a little bit choked up or teary-eyed as you go through this, thinking of all the challenges that we had and all the hard work that we put in, the volunteers, the donors, people logging in, our board, it's just been an incredible year. So I just want to kick this off, get us in the mood to finish up the year and take a look. Well, that was just a quick shot of the year. And yes, and a big applause to everyone. It's been an incredible year. And I see we got quite a bit of guests. And thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining the Rotary Club of El Paso. I see some folks from the West Side Club, the Northeast Club. Damon is online. All right, Damon, I caught you here. All right. So welcome everyone. So sticking with our traditions, I'm going to hand it over to Matt Nyland. This is the part where boos are welcome. So with us, Matt Nyland.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rotary. We could bow our heads, please. We are thankful for our Rotary fellowship together, with the hand of friendly understanding extended toward other businesses and professions in our own community, to other clubs throughout our land, and to Rotary clubs beyond the seas. We rejoice in the challenge of life. In these interesting and challenging times, and in the spirit of service above self, we pray that our personal lives may be channeled for the flow of loving goodwill in all our relationships every day. Amen.
Yeah.
And the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
All right, everyone. Matt Nyland. And Matt, thank you so much for helping out with the bikes on Saturday. And your son, Blake, is just incredible. I'd like to invite him back, and hopefully he'll do a pop-up guest and do the magic tricks that he likes and stuff like that. So
good. Thanks, Yasser. He loved it.
Give him a heads up.
That was a great event.
All right, guys. I tell everyone that I haven't stopped smiling over the last couple of weeks because we had a lot of projects come to a conclusion for the year. It's been a very, very tough challenge back down. So you guys, everyone pat yourselves in the back, because seriously, we did not back down. We just reinvented how we do Rotary. But on the subject, we have a pop-up guest, and Andy Watley will tell us who our pop-up guests are.
Okay, so we have two pop-up guests that are pretty timely today, given that we just completed the Children's Christmas event, which was, as usual, a huge success. Even though we did it completely differently, it was pretty amazing what was accomplished. So our pop-up guests today are Socorro Rodriguez, the director of Region 19 Head Start Center, and then, of course, to tell us about the actual event and some of the details of our success and how everything went, will be, of course, our very own Superman. No, was it Batman? Stan O'Keefe. So, welcome to Rotary Pop-Up Time.
Thank you, Andy. Is Socorro here? Socorro with us today? Well, if she's late in joining us, let me start. Thank you. And I want to thank all of our fellow Rotarians for joining us in putting together the Children's Christmas Party. And there's Socorro. Welcome, Socorro Rodriguez from Project Head Start.
Well, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Sorry, I was just jumping off another Zoom. And so I'm so happy to be here once again to see you all. I don't know if I was going to have an opportunity to show our video that our team created. It's a short 2-minute video, if I may. Would that be okay?
Yasser?
Yeah, that would be okay. Yeah, I think Arlene will give you here host access and allow you to share the video. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So the first part of the video was actually what our broadcasting team put together to invite our families to come out. I'm happy to report to you that across the centers, we had close to the 3,000 families that actually came out. The rest, we had to deliver to their homes, but we were so happy at the center that I was here at James R. Vasquez, the cars just didn't stop coming, you know? And so it was really exciting. And I want to take this opportunity before I show you the video to tell you all that, you know, we are just so grateful, Rotary of El Paso, for making this happen for our children. You know, some of our children will only have this opportunity to see Santa, to get a book, to increase their literacy skills, their beautiful coloring book, which we have so many pictures. If you go on our website, of families that have sent us pictures of the kiddos reading their books, coloring their books. So just, we are so appreciative to each and every one of you. So if I'm ready, if I have the access, may I share? Okay, here we go.
Be sure to turn on audio, enable that checkbox. Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me.
Hola and hello, boys and girls. It's me, your good friend Santa Claus. I just love this holiday season, don't you? It makes me feel so jolly and happy inside. I especially love all the cookies you leave for me on Christmas Eve. They're so yummy. Speaking of goodies, guess what? I have a special treat for you. You have all been such good boys and girls this year that Ms. Claus and I have prepared a special bag of holiday goodies for you. There's even a fun book inside for you to read together with your parents. And as you munch on your yummy treats, and we couldn't have done it without the help of our good friends at the El Paso Rotary Club. They wanted to make sure that you all receive a holiday surprise because you all are so very special. So parents, don't forget to go to your Child Head Start Center this Friday, December 11th, from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and pick up their special holiday goodie bag from Santa. Remember, during pickup to stay inside the vehicle. And please make sure all passengers are wearing a mask. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and have a very safe and happy holiday.
are here with our great friends, the Rotarians, because they have been so gracious as to donate piñatas, candies, books for all our 4,500 children. And so this could not have happened for our children and our families without all the support that we get from our amazing friends, the Rotary Clubs of El Paso. Throughout El Paso and Hudspeth County, we are really expecting over 3,000 families to be able to participate in this event.
Yeah, our Santa Claus is the president of the Rotary Club of El Paso, Yasser Murga. This is such a great tradition that we love and look forward to every year. Just seeing the smiles, the laughter, just the grins on the kids' faces, it makes it all worthwhile. And knowing that, you know, somehow we're igniting a little bit of interest in reading and making sure that it's fun with all the treats and gifts. We're so delighted to partner with Region 19 Head Start in this and look forward to this every year.
All right. Well, let's give a big virtual applause. That was Socorro, Stan, the rest of the committee. That was the highlight of our year. And I keep telling people that I haven't stopped smiling since then. And it's hard to go through this without getting a little choked up, but I'm sure people 10, 15 years from now, will, you know, those little kids that we saw will come back and say, you know what, that was my only holiday experience. So great work, everyone.
You're the best. You're the best Santa Claus we've ever had.
You did a great job for Santa Claus. And may I say something to Socorro? I just want to say to all the Rotarians, thank you for your support. Thank you to our wonderful committee and everybody that said yes all along, said yes, yes, yes. All we got was yes. What can-do attitudes. And Socorro, thank you for you and your team and your beautiful, your loving hearts, your giving hearts. We thank you so much for being partners with us.
Thank you so much, you all. Thank you, you all. Thank you. May the Lord return and multiply your blessings for making our children so happy. You have no idea how happy our families were. You know, some of them are in serious situations that, you know, of course I cannot share, but if you only knew how much of an impact, a beautiful impact, you have left this imprint in our kiddos, and you know, they will forever be grateful. I will forever be grateful because, you know, I was once in their shoes. And so thank you so much, Stan, for taking the lead, and Yasser, with you put together an awesome committee, and I'm just so blessed that to have been a part of it. So many blessings to you all. May you have a wonderful Christmas holiday season, and may we thrive in 2021. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Socorro. Thank you so much. And it was a great opportunity to get all the clubs, all the Rotary clubs in El Paso. Everybody stepped in. Zaragoza Club, Northeast, Anthony, all the clubs, West Side, all the clubs participated. It was very exciting to see all that. So great work, everyone. Moving along, so let's see here. Just a quick overview of our accomplishments this year. You know, this has been a year of challenges for everyone, whether it was a family member, ourselves, adapting to this environment, all these Zoom meetings, the economy closing down businesses. It's just challenging in every way. But you know what? We chose not to back down. We just reinvented how we did Rotary. We started out with the Pen Pal project at Vibra Life, sending letters to some of the residents there in the senior care center. We donated blood. A lot of people showed up to donate blood. Here's some pictures. Hey, here's Jimmy, and then we also did the school supplies drive and for the kids in Anthony Elementary, and we raised like over 100 backpacks and school supplies. Here's some more pictures, and it was a great opportunity. Here's some more pictures of the children's Christmas party. So it was just, in spite of the challenging year that we had, you know what? And it reminds me of I'll make a comment later on of our guest speaker and the book that the gift and the choice that we're reading. There's some references there that we took on the situation and something that was stuck in our mind is service above self, and we just found a way to continue that. So it was incredible. Here's some more pictures. Here's a bicycle drive this past Saturday. Fixed over 30 bikes and donated those bikes to Tornillo Elementary School. And those bikes finished up like brand new. Great work, everyone. So it's been an incredible year. Even though we canceled the actual Paso Wine Fest, Mike Hackett and his committee found a way to reinvent it. It's been a very successful program, a lot of fun, great food, helping out our sponsors, making money for the club in the process. And it's just been a lot of fun. So guess what, guys? Today we had the last curbside of the year. It's a Hallelujah barbecue for all of you guys that miss Blake's barbecue. It is lined up, sold out today. And but after that, we got a special day. I'm going to hand it over to Valerie Garcia, who's leading our club holiday party. It's going to be a lot of fun. But Valerie, tell us a little bit about what's going on tonight.
Thanks, Yasser. Before I do, I just want to say your team is only as good as the leader, and you've done an amazing job this year considering the situation. So thank you for your leadership and everything that you do and your creative ways. All righty. So yes, let's party. It's time. It's time to do holiday Zooms as crazy and wild as we can get tonight. So put on your ugly holiday sweaters, your best ones, put on your flair. Those that are picking up your Blake's Hallelujah curbside barbecue. You're going to have some gifts in there. So there's no excuses that y'all don't have anything to wear tonight. So it's a little gift there. Yeah, we're going to start tonight at 6:30. We're going to play games. Please it is mandatory to have cocktails in hand. So I know some of y'all will have more than one, and that's fine. You can do karaoke throughout if you want. We will have to mute you though, if it gets too crazy. But yeah, please join us tonight. We're going to start at 6:30. We'll do a little bit of a cocktail hour, let everybody get settled in, and then the games will begin.
All right, Valerie, very excited. And I hear we have a special guest. Is it from the North Pole or from where?
I don't know, Yasser. You can't give that away. We're gonna see. We'll see if we have somebody special, and we just might, because we need it this year. We need a light at the end of the tunnel here and some good laughs. So please, we're super excited. Join us tonight, and we'll end this year with lots of smiles, lots of cocktails, and lots of games.
Yeah, folks, if you could log in for, even if it's just for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we'll be on, log in, log out, hang out, we're just going to have some fun, some unstructured fun. And I'm very excited about this, especially when we look back at all the projects that we've done and how we maintained this year. Thank you, Valerie. Looking forward to it. You guys might remember that every year Ray Cox does he puts together the Salvation Army Red Kettle Challenge, and we go to Sam's, we ring the bell, and Stan's always there, Mayela, myself, Sophie, and Mark, and we always have a lot of fun going out there. This year it's a little bit different. Ray signed us up to do this virtually. So hopefully we could have the link here in the chat room. If not, keep an eye on that email or social media. Just click there. It's super easy. Donate $5, a couple of bucks, whatever it is. But we are just trying to maintain our traditions and help somebody out for the holiday season. And so keep that in mind. Also, we have a random acts of kindness request. It's been a challenging year for everyone, and somebody that we know, somebody close to us, somebody close to the wine committee. You guys might know Chris Pickett, and I don't know if Mike Hackett's online, but I'll go ahead and speak on that. But Chris Pickett has been a supporter of the Wine Fest. He's a wine distributor, and his main source of income was a couple of things, was selling to the restaurants and our Wine Fest festival, or Wine Fest, excuse me. So if you take those away, going through some hardships, I mean, it's very difficult to say that his personal collection of wines has been sold. I think a car has been sold off just to make ends meet. So right now, the club, I'm checking to see where we could fit this in the budget, but I want to make a plea to folks, write a check, $20, $15. If we all pitch in something, I'm sure we could help him out. He was certainly there when we needed him, and in these tough times, let's return the favor. So if you have an opportunity, just write a check or help him out, Chris Pickett, guys. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Very exciting program today, and I'm going to hand it over to our very own Mark Mathis to tell us about this program. So Mark Mathis, take it away.
Very good, and I actually have a very special guest from one of the other Rotary clubs who's going to do the introduction of our special guest today. It's someone that we've heard from a lot of people that they would love to hear, and even though she lives in La Jolla, we're able to bring her to you live today. But I want to make sure and let Damon Crossland do the grand introduction here, and then we'll start our conversation with Dr. Edith Eger. Do want to encourage all of you to think of some questions. We'd like this to be very conversational and interview format. So please think about some great questions. And Damon, please, would you do the honors?
I will. Thank you very much, Mark. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Just checking to make sure my mute was off. Our presenter today is a native of Hungary. Dr. Edith Eger was just a teenager in 1944 when she experienced the Holocaust. As a Jew living in Nazi-occupied Eastern Europe, she and her family were sent to Auschwitz, a death camp, where her parents were sent to the gas chambers. Dr. Eger's bravery kept her and her sister alive. Her first book, The Choice, describes the details she endured, and I would encourage everyone to read it. It is moving. Near the end of World War II, Dr. Eger and other prisoners were moved to Austria, and on May 4th, 1945, a young American soldier noticed her hand moving slightly amongst a number of dead bodies. The soldier summoned medical help and brought her back from the brink of death. After the war, Dr. Eger moved to Czechoslovakia, where she met her husband. They moved to the United States in 1949, where they made their way to El Paso, where Dr. Eger earned her degree in 1969 from the University of Texas at El Paso. And she pursued her doctoral internship at William Beaumont Army Medical Center here at Fort Bliss, Texas. Dr. Eger is a prolific author and member of several professional associations. She has a clinical practice in La Jolla, California, and a faculty appointment at University of California, San Diego. She's appeared on numerous television programs, including CNN and Oprah Winfrey, and was the primary subject of a Holocaust documentary that appeared on Dutch national television. Our speaker is very humble and such an inspiration. She will intrigue you to listen further. She has a most recent book out named The Gift that is very simple. It's an easy read, a self-help. It's a do-it-yourself. You can easily make it part of your daily life. So I encourage you to consider that. Dr. Eger has 3 grown, successful, and brilliant children. One of them is our very own Rotarian, John Eger, still living in El Paso. He likes to tease his mother that he graduated from UTEP with a 4.0 GPA. I suspect on our Zoom virtual meeting, you'll see Dr. Eger with some bright colored clothing, which I think is her signature trademark and reflects on the bright life she has led for her 93 years. Please welcome Dr. Edith Eger.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be with you. I like to really start with my hero, John Eger, because after two girls, finally I had a son, and my husband was very, very happy that he's going to carry the name of the Eger, Rabbi Akiva Eger. And, but John somehow was not really developing as we were hoped. And finally, when he was 4 years old, I wanted to ask my doctors for a second opinion, and they sent me to Baltimore to Johns Hopkins. A wonderful neurologist by the name of Dr. Clark told me after a week that my son is not retarded. He looks that way, and he's going to be what I make of him. Can you imagine how I was shaking and asked me, what am I doing now? And I said, I am at the university. And he said, well, he's going to need speech therapy, occupational therapy, and then he's going to do everything anybody else does. It's going to take him longer to get there. And this is what I'm going to tell you, that love is not what you feel, is what you do. I want to thank you for inviting me, because the Rotarians are certainly letting you to know that they're not just talking, they're doing. So I want to give you a standing ovation and letting you know that my son John graduated as a top 10 student from the University of Texas. So thank you, my son John. You're my hero. And the Rotarians, I know, are having a wonderful, wonderful time with you, celebrating the Rotarians who are making the world a better place. And I'm going to call you ambassadors. So here I am for you at 93. I don't care about the chronological age at all, but El Paso is still my home. And I love you, and I'm available today to let you know that I have no time to retire. I'm going to work as long as I live, and hopefully I like to be useful to you today.
Hey, thank you very much, Dr. Eger. That was awesome. Well, let's start with what keeps you so young. So you're 93. All of us would like to be there. How do you stay so young and spry?
I think young, and I live in the present. There is one thing we cannot change, is our history, our past. And I was able to somehow to be able to meet Philip Zimbardo at Stanford. And he kept telling me every time I met him, you have to write a book, you have to write a book. And I kept telling him, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. But then he told me one day, you know, the survivors who made it and are famous are all men. We need a female voice. And that did it. So that's how the choice was born. And then after that, I was told that's not good enough. We need something practical. And that's why the gift came about. The third book is going to be with my daughter on the recipes. So I have yet to stop, and I will as long as I live. And hopefully I will be remembered that I did everything in my power to see to it that your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will never experience what I did.
Indeed.
So now, I was in a place with you. I was in a place and I had a wonderful hamburger. Are you at that place now? I don't know. But I know that El Paso is still my home, and I want to really hopefully be very useful to you today. So think young and just remember what you think, you create.
Outstanding.
I have a question, Dr. Eger. Well, not a question, more like a comment. And John, thank you so much for giving me a copy of Dr. Eger's book, The Gift. And it's a very good book. And something that stood out to me, and it might be a cultural thing also, that you mentioned a lot of times when we have a situation or a problem that we think, oh, if I ignore it, it will go away. If I think about it, it'll go away. And you give the example of when you were working in Washington, D.C., and they kept telling you, hey, there's a Holocaust museum down the street, and you reference that. It's like, why would I want to go there? And at that point, you kept saying, kind of ignoring it, put it behind you, trying to forget it. And it was a very incredible moment in your book where you mentioned that you actually went to the museum and you saw pictures of as the soldiers came in to free Auschwitz, and there was a cart. And I think in the book you referenced that you sat there for a couple of hours, and it was a very challenging time for you. If you could make a comment a little bit on those times when we have a situation or problem in ourselves, but we shouldn't just ignore it. We should address it. We should accept it and address it instead of just ignoring it and hope it goes away.
Well, unfortunately, that's what I did. But it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. What comes out of your body will never make you ill. What stays in there does. And yes, that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can be compassionate listeners. And I'm so happy that I can tell you that there is no letting go until you go through the rage. So it's very, very good, very good. And I remember when I was there and I went down to the 3rd floor, there was a cattle car. They went and got one in Germany. And I saw people going in and out, in and out. And I stood there at least a couple hours. And then I finally stepped in. And I was wondering, wow, what now? And I knew that the following morning, I'm going to be at a building where I was going to be introduced as Dr. Edith Eger, licensed clinical psychologist. And I was wondering how that girl became this woman. And this is where I am. I'm going to tell you that at 93, I hope to let you know to revisit the places where you've been, relive that experience, and then you revise your life. And that's the work I do, which is grieving, feeling, and healing. And you can't heal what you don't feel. So yeah, denial, delusion, minimization, none of those defense mechanisms worked for me at all until, thank God, I was able to find that part in me that I discovered in Auschwitz, that I was able to look at life from inside out. Because if you're not happy alone, you won't be happy with anyone else. So that's why I'm so glad to talk to you today, because I honor you as a Rotarian. Because if you're just for me, if you were just for me in Auschwitz, you didn't make it. All we had was each other then. And of course, all we have is each other now. A couple of days ago, I spoke to the Rotarian in La Jolla, California. So here I am talking to you, my precious El Paso, and a beautiful place. And you suffered so much. And so I want to celebrate that you do everything in your power. That unfortunately, the people who died, we were going to honor them and remember that that they didn't die in vain. It really empowers us to even commit ourselves more and more. And so I'm hoping the Rotarians are going to grow and grow and grow. And I know you are a family, you care for one another. See, all we had was each other then, and all we have is each other now. I too have a dream how to empower each other with our differences, that you can be you and I can be I. I have a wonderful colleague, his name is Rich Patterson, who is a very brilliant psychologist, and he writes beautifully. And I get his literature and talks about how all the people that he is reading today, all the masters who talk about how we can acknowledge that we are one of a kind and there'll never be another you who shows up to the Rotarian. So I hope you look in the mirror every morning and say, I love me, because self-love is self-care. It's not narcissistic. So I hope you love yourself.
Something go ahead.
That's,
as I say, that's hard sometimes, because we all know our own faults, or sometimes, our significant others point those out. So I don't know, how do you conquer that? Maybe some of those doubts.
I think that if you don't love you, why should I? Everything begins with you. So when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and say, I love me, you're really honoring yourself, because many people can do what you can do, but not the way you can do it. You're unique, you're one of a kind, diamond. And sometimes we minimize that and say, yes, but this, or yes, but that. Get rid of the but, say yes, and. When I leave this room, no one can replace me. Be your good cheerleader and see how you can be a good parent to you, and not to do anything in excess. Have a good balance between working, loving, and playing.
Excellent.
And I liked a lot about your book, The Gift, is, the positiveness of how going through a Holocaust and being an Auschwitz survivor made who you are today. And if it wouldn't have been for that horrendous situation, you wouldn't have become the person you are now to be able to help others.
Yes, I think I am not only blessed that I survived, but that I'm able to guide other people to survive as well. So that's why it's doubly for me to celebrate every moment of life, every moment I have, and to dedicate myself for someone who possibly will also guide others. And yet, I am very proud, because my ancestors didn't have it as good as I do. And you know what? I carry that blood. I'm very proud to be a Jewish woman who is carrying that blood of her ancestors, because the ancestors never gave up. And that's the blood that you carry, because it's easier to die than to live. I know I was very suicidal after I was liberated, because I was told that my parents are not coming back, and reality hit me, and I just wanted to die. And I know God spoke to me and said, if you die now, you're gonna be a coward, but if you live, I'm gonna give you something to be for something rather than be against something. So I am for life today. I'm for recognizing that all we have was each other then, and all we have is each other now. If you were only for the me, you didn't make it. And when I was asked to dance for Dr. Mengele in Auschwitz, and he gave me a piece of bread, I could have gobbled it up. But thank God I did not. I climbed up when I was on the top shelf, and I shared it with the girls. And when I was on the death march from Gunskirchen, from Mauthausen to Gunskirchen, if you stop, you were shot right away. And I began to stop because I was so weak. And the girls that I shared the bread with, they came and they formed a chair with their arms and they carried me so I wouldn't die. Isn't that amazing? If you were just for the me, you didn't make it. And this is unfortunate so much that El Paso had that tragedy, and now you are uniting, and now El Paso is going to be really remembered of people who are survivors and not victims of any circumstance.
You know, when
so
after
I'm
the
going to give you a standing ovation today.
You know, after the shooting, we heard from, you know I did from a lot of my acquaintances of, you know, you must be extremely angry. You must feel a lot of rage.
It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be angry.
And you know, I know I commented to one of my friends, well, you know, the only way we can solve this is with love. And we felt a lot of love amongst our community. But I know that anger is one of those prisons, you know, that you talk about in the books, and that you have to be able to, you know, express your rage to deal with that anger in a safe way. Can you touch on that a bit? Because I think a lot of us.
My daughter calls it Edisms, and this is one of them. That the opposite of depression is expression, because what comes out of your body will not make you ill. So I am hoping that you can really talk to yourself and see what you're carrying with you, because the biggest concentration camp is in your own mind. And I tell you that the key is in your pocket. You have to really watch The Wizard of Oz, and that's really so brilliantly done. But because what you wanted from the wizard, you had it all along. And I think that is wonderful too, that you recognize that you have a mind and you can use it and see how you can reclaim your genuine self that you may have given up when you were young. Do you have an idea what happens in families? If you're a firstborn, and if you marry a firstborn, you're going to have a power struggle because you have two bosses. I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you. Middle children, I don't like to generalize, but middle children are peacemakers. They really want anybody to get along with everybody else. I don't know if, I think the Rotarians make a good Kissinger. You want to talk to everyone and recognizing that, that the most obnoxious person is your best teacher. Now, do you call the youngest in a family something I'm going to tell you? Young as children are referred to as charming manipulators. I know that I could take my father and ask him for money when he was playing billiards and he was with his cronies, and I know I'm going to get more money. My mother knew better. And you see, sometimes women, I tell them that you're not smart, you're wise. You're wise. And you want to watch Fiddler on a Roof because that woman knows that her husband needs to know that he makes all the decisions in a family. And guess who makes all the decisions? a lot of the times because she doesn't have any ego needs. She's not competing. She's not dominating. She is the one who is going to let go of any kind of competition. Remember when he has to accept the fact that the daughter is going to marry a Gentile? Remember that scene? Go see it. How she is able to somehow present something to the husband. I've never seen such a wise woman as that one. So the Rotary is a role model to us all, because if you're just for me, if you were just for the me, in Auschwitz, you didn't make it. All we had was each other then, and all we have is each other now. Cooperation, not competition or domination.
Dr. Eger, something that I admired from your book, The Choice, is the examples you gave when somebody would approach you with a problem and then they would finish saying, well, I shouldn't be complaining. I should dismiss my personal problem because other people have it worse. I mean, you're a Holocaust survivor and my problems are nothing. But instead, you never dismissed that. You said everyone's feelings are important. Everyone's situation is important. It should not be compared or on a certain level with somebody else's, but you should reach down deep.
I think it's very important that there is no problem in the world. They are challenges. There are no crises. They're only transition. I think the biggest fear in your midlife is possibly the fear of being with myself. But if you're not happy with yourself, if you're not happy alone, that is really something you want to look at. How you can really accept yourself, love yourself, that you're human. And yes, you're not perfect. You give up perfectionism because if you're a perfectionist, you're never satisfied. You procrastinate. You know, you want to do things just right. I remember when my granddaughter was in a class and the IQ started at 145. And the teacher called my granddaughter my little red caboose. I don't like labels. I am also a teacher myself. And I'm certified in Texas as a teacher and a counselor. I still can go back and teach school. And so I was teaching at Bowie High School in Coronado as well. So what am I saying?
Lindsay in the school.
How Lindsay was a perfectionist and she was erasing things 1,000 times. And yes, she didn't think that she really can cut the mustard, and she was ready to step out of that class. This is the first time I talked to Lindsay about Auschwitz. I don't know what I did and how I did it, but I asked her not to allow a teacher or anyone define who she is. She's one of a kind. So she did go back. She went to school in La Jolla called the Bishop School. And when it was time to sign up for colleges, you have to have your autobiography. And the title was When a Caboose Became an Engine. So you see, you turn everything in life into some ways that you turn everything into a time when you can look at that situation and be grateful and see how you're not allowing other people to get to you and interrupt your peace of mind. Try to get me angry. I'm very selective who's going to get my anger. Because when I'm angry, I give my power away.
You make a reference of that in your book, that nobody could take away, I guess, the positiveness you have in your mind. And you make a reference of it, even though your environment might change, and you referencing Auschwitz, nobody could take away what you have in your mind. And as I was reading this, it really clicked on how our club has done this year, because we could have been in that prison of mind throughout the year of everything's canceled. We can't do this, we can't do that. But instead, it didn't change who we are in our mind, and we just found a different way to be able to serve. So that, as I was reading that really clicked on me, the reference in how our club has performed this year.
It's not why me, it's what now. And that's where the Rotary is. It's not why us, that what now. We can take all that and turn it into an opportunity. And that's what Auschwitz was. Even though I was told every day that I'm going to the gas chamber and I'm never going to get out of here alive. And this is what is going on now that is so difficult. We don't know what's going to happen next. When we stood 4 o'clock in the morning, we didn't know how the day is going to go. When we took a shower, we didn't know whether water or gas is going to come out. And that is a very difficult place to be in that limbo. And that's why we were not prepared for this. And then we were told one thing and then we found another. But the Rotary is not gonna say, why me? You don't have time to be a victim. I am not a victim. I was victimized. It's not who I am. It's not my identity. When people say, she's a survivor of Auschwitz, well, I tell you what I am. I'm a human being who went through an experience that gave me an opportunity to discover that no one can really take away the way I think. So think about your thinking, what you think you create, and pay attention what you're paying attention to. Any behavior you pay attention to, you reinforce that very behavior. So my mind is a computer, and it's very, very good to take out a movie called The Karate Kid. So the best power is brain power. And here you are, the Rotary. We get together and you exchange all kinds of ways but you're not revolving, you're evolving. And that's why I wear butterflies today. That we go through the metamorphosis and then we shed the chrysalis so we can fly freely like a butterfly. So keep on growing, keep on showing up, and you give while your hand is warm. And thank you for showing up, and thank you for living in El Paso. It's a really beautiful, wonderful, loving place to especially raise your children. And my son John goes and does everything he can to goes to the mayor and he fights how to help the disabled and goes to Washington and wants to know that the disabled people in El Paso going to have good transportation and never stops. Thank you, John, for climbing that mountain. And we sleep and climb, but we never stop climbing. I will never ever retire. Every moment is precious. And of course, we don't appreciate what we have until we lose it. So even today, I finish everything on my plate. It's very hard for me to throw away a piece of bread. I love to go to the Avilas when I come to San Diego I love their green enchiladas. And so I tell you, enchiladas are beautiful, and the Mexican food is great. And my Hungarian food is something I'm very proud of. And I tell Marianne, I'm sick and tired of making the chicken paprikash. And Marianne said, but that's what you're known for, Mom. You're not known for fancy food. You make the Hungarian food. And Rotarians, you keep on doing what you're doing, and you get better and better and better for it. But we're much stronger together than me alone or you alone.
Dr. Eger, thank you so much for joining our Rotary Club of El Paso meeting. This has been a wonderful experience.
And I love you very much, and I am so happy that I can be a good mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother to you. And that's my biggest revenge to Hitler. And so thank you, John, for being a Rotarian and being my one-of-a-kind, beautiful survivor. I love you so much.
Gloria Lavis sends her love.
Gloria Lavis, of course, my best friend, Gloria. Oh, with the beautiful voice, the soprano. And I called her the other day how you make potato pancakes. And she told me how to grate it and put it in cold water, which I never knew how to do. And it was wonderful, Gloria. I love you so much. You're a true survivor.
Well, everyone, check out the gift, Dr. Eger's book, and The Choice, #1 bestsellers. There's a third book coming out. Dr. Eger, thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, John is your biggest fan because every time I stop by his house, he showed me a karate kick that you traditionally do at every presentation. Is just incredible. And reading your book, you were about to go to the Olympics too on gymnastics.
I do a high kick for you. Okay.
Wait, back up.
Oh, I love this. This is a signature right here.
There you go.
Is incredible. Everyone, big round of applause for Dr. Eger.
Thank you, Dr. Edie.
L'chaim to life. Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you, Katie. Appreciate your help.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, let's run. Everyone, get your ugly sweater ready. You know, loosen up a little bit. Get those cocktails lined up for tonight because it is a great opportunity to celebrate. MC Valerie's got a great show for tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to look back, reflect on the year, and how we adapted, how we contributed to the community. We got a lot to be thankful for, and it's time to listen up and just have a good time, guys. We'll get that ugly sweater. I look forward to seeing everyone. Enjoy your barbecue tonight, and we'll see you guys in a bit. So meeting adjourned. Great job, Mark. Everyone, great program today. Thank you, visitors and guests. Meeting adjourned.
It was a wonderful program, guys. Wonderful.
Hey,
see y'all tonight.
Yasser?
Yes, sir.
Don Powell. With your interesting questions and your professional demeanor, I felt like I just watched an episode of 60 Minutes. Good job.
Good job, Yasser.
Well, I might have a second career here.
Yeah.